Provost, may I invite you to declare the ceremony open?
As Provost, I declare this ceremony open for the conferment of certificates, diplomas, and degrees by the authority of the Academic Council and the Board of Governors.
Thank you, Provost. It is my pleasure to invite Mr. Curtis Roland Manchun, Chairman of the Board of Governors of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, to welcome you to this afternoon's ceremony.
Master of Ceremonies, Dr. Marion Watson, Assistant Professor of Process Engineering at UTT's Energy Campus, members of the Board of Governors who are here with us this evening, Dr. Fazal Ali, Acting President and Provost, Program Professors and Academic Heads, Vice Presidents, members of the staff of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, graduates of 2012, family members and friends, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Graduation 2012. On behalf of the Board of Governors of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, I would like to extend my sincere congratulations to the graduates of 2012. You have successfully met your personal goals, your academic goals, as well as those set by your families, friends, and lecturers. This is, of course, a signal day in not only your academic life, but in your entire life, and we sincerely congratulate you and thank the faculty, your lecturers, those who would have tutored you, and indeed the whole of the UTT community. This is the end point. Well, I shouldn't really say end point, but this certainly is a very significant point in the life of the university. It gives me great pleasure to address you on this, your graduation. Today marks the end of a long and no doubt difficult journey. Some of you may have thought that this day would never have come, but here it is, and more importantly, here you are, you have made it. For many of you, as you look back over the last couple of years, your road to success would not necessarily have been straight and easy. And as you will learn, the road to success is very often paved with failure or hard work and difficulty. And even as you transition into this new phase of your life, your ability to overcome setbacks, difficulties, and challenges will just be part of the journey. As graduates, you now have a unique opportunity to be trailblazers on the national and international level, for UTT is only as strong as its graduates. Your ability to put into practice what you have learned at this university will be the evidence of your collective hard work. Indeed, while you have come to the end of one phase of your life and your academic journey, you're beginning another, even more important phase. Clayton Christensen, in his book, The Innovative University, Changing the DNA of Higher Education, while he talks about how universities are being transformed globally, talks about traditional universities are an indispensable cornerstone of society and culture. Their experience is transformative for so many people, and it's an experience people cannot get anywhere else. It is indeed our hope that as many of you transition out of tertiary education today, you can look back on this experience as one that has truly been transformative and life-affirming. Graduates, your education today will become the tools of trade tomorrow. The friendships that you have made at UTT are now your networks of the future, and the ideas you conceive will generate many limitless opportunities. My dear friends, over the past year, as a leadership team, we have continued our focus on strengthening the University of Trinidad and Tobago with closer alignment to our mission and vision. We have positioned UTT, the National University of Trinidad and Tobago, as the place where our graduates receive education for employment, education for entrepreneurship, and education for economic development. Allow me to briefly elaborate on these three areas, since as graduates, each of these areas have the ability to impact your present circumstances and indeed your future goals. Our deliberate integration of business and technology into undergraduate and postgraduate programs and blending instructional methodologies such as multidisciplinary projects, problem-based learning, team learning and instruction across all academic disciplines can only serve to empower you, our graduates. This seamless academic integration across programs is designed to provide students with the best tools for meeting the demands of an ever-evolving and rapidly changing society. UTT has and continues to foster an environment where entrepreneurship can grow and thrive, as it is a key factor for our country's national economic development and its sustainability. According to Jim Clifton, author of The Common Jobs War, what every leader must know about the future of job creation, and I quote, "If countries fail at creating jobs, their societies will fall apart," unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look around the world today, this statement proves to be credible, and it is an absolute indictment of a very real problem which is facing so many economies around us. It is a common fact that one of the world's most pressing issues is that of job creation and, by extension, entrepreneurship. As graduates of 2012, it is incumbent upon you to explore your own entrepreneurial capabilities, which can in fact impact our nation's economic development and that of your own personal growth. Our intention is to absorb many of you with the business ideas and acumen within our university's accelerators, which we will launch in the first quarter of next year. Plans are already in place for supporting startups in animation and fashion. Allow me at this time to give you a brief insight into some of the university's achievements for 2012. Several memoranda of understanding with leading international universities and other local companies were signed, which will see developments for UTT in areas ranging from aviation technology to maritime studies, petroleum, ICT, and port skills. We plan to launch early next year our Aviation Institute with support from Caribbean Airlines and National Helicopters. We are currently working with the Memorial University of Newfoundland of Canada to expand our maritime programs, and together with the world-renowned Sheridan Institute of Technology, new programs in the gaming and animation industry will mushroom. Part of our strategy of being the top institution in all our fields of endeavor has been to partner with the world's top institutions, and we will continue this strategy next year to formalize these and other partnerships. Ladies and gentlemen, to be the best, we must stand shoulder to shoulder with the best students, the best teachers, the best partners. And may I encourage you as we step out into the world of work, or as you continue your careers, to aspire to be the best, to take your place among the world's best, to believe in yourselves, and to reach for the stars. Earlier this year, the university embarked on a major upgrade of our facilities to support our programs. In doing this, we rebranded our campuses as centers of excellence, which led to the renaming of our Port of Spain campus as the UTT John S. Donaldson Creativity Campus, our Chaguanas campus as the Agora campus, which is the Greek for the meeting place, which will support professional education, and of course in Point Lisas, the UTT Energy Campus, home of the Energy Institute of Trinidad and Tobago. These have been successful, and plans are underway to refocus several of our other campuses in the near future, which will bring them into closer alignment with UTT's mandate and national development goals. And I'm sure you can see from that review that we are focusing on areas of economic growth and development aimed at stimulating the economy, creating new job opportunities, which is what I mean by being in closer alignment with our mission as an entrepreneurial university. These will include campuses for manufacturing and design, maritime, education, agribusiness, and sport, among others. We are also in the final stages of completing our Tobago campus, now a landmark along the waterfront in Scarborough, and this will be launched shortly. No other institution can boast of having 10 teaching campuses and a dedicated research campus, responding to the diverse geographic and economic needs of Trinidad and Tobago. We are also conscious of our students' experience of learning and educating for a more sustainable future. In May, we launched our Student Social Responsibility and Volunteer Center, which has begun to build a culture of volunteerism and social outreach within our student body. While still in incubation, through UTT's social responsibility approach, many of our students have already participated in regular weekend volunteering activities. Our students, the UTT students, are becoming more aware of the societal needs of neighboring communities and NGOs. Just over this weekend, a group of some 25 students and staff from the Point Lisas and Maritime campuses partnered with Habitat for Humanity through UTT's Student Volunteer Center. They supported a needy family in the completion of a concrete flooring for their new house. These activities of selflessness and love for community and social cause will be embedded into the annual student calendar as we continue to build a culture of voluntary service and support for each other. No longer will only a degree be used to define the UTT graduate. We are also moving steadfastly to reintroduce life skills training and the co-op system of internship in all full-time programs. This will allow all our students to graduate with work experience. As many of you will agree, it is not only about what you know, but also, or more importantly, what you can do. We also hosted several critical symposia, which included a 3-day entrepreneurial conference focused on the triple helix approach to education, involving government, industry, and academia. And this, of course, we hope to make an annual feature on our university's calendar to reinforce our mission of being an entrepreneurial university. I would hope that by next year, in addition to handing you out certificates and congratulating you on your graduation, we will be able to present before this graduation hall and the national community a number of entrepreneurs that have been born in UTT, born out of UTT, and who will be launching businesses and companies and creating employment and thereby fulfilling our university's mission. We also hosted for the very first time UTT's response to the 2012-2013 national budget, which allowed our nation's secondary and tertiary students to share in our academic staff's evaluation of critical areas such as construction, food and agriculture, creative industries, maritime, education, Tobago affairs, and of course issues concerning the GATE program. In 2012, UTT was also fortunate to receive specialized accreditation in several program areas from reputable international bodies, including that of the Institution of Chemical Engineers and the Energy Institute of the UK for program areas in engineering. We can all agree, I think, ladies and gentlemen, that UTT is progressing and is on course to fulfilling our mandate as the National University of Trinidad and Tobago. We recognize the sizable investment that the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago has bestowed with the allocation of some $9.1 billion to the education and training sector. It is common knowledge that without GATE, many of you perhaps would not be before us here today, or certainly perhaps not at this point in time in your own lives, and may not have had the opportunity to pursue your goals of tertiary education. This year's graduation exercise marks the first time that a number of programs will graduate their first cohorts of students. Among them, the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Fashion Design, the Certificate in Security and Public Safety, Certificate in Indian Classical Music, and the Artist Diploma in Music Performance, to name a few. Earlier this year, one of our graduating students, Stefan Hernandez, entered the world-renowned Eastman School of Music at Rochester University in New York after completing the Artist Diploma. And may I say that he was one of very few to secure a partial scholarship at the university, and UTT was pleased to support him with the balance of his scholarship. This year will also see 5 doctoral candidates who will graduate in the disciplines of petroleum engineering, process and utilities engineering, and entrepreneurship and commercial studies. I can assure you that their work will not remain on library shelves, as several patents have already been registered, and we will actively be pursuing the commercialization of these innovations. A lot of the research that has been done in the past sometimes just remains on library shelves as a requirement for completing the academic course of study. With the economic challenges that we face in the world today, we need to put in place the structures and the systems and the processes to be able to create economic benefit out of all the hard work that you do. We also recognize our first Master of Philosophy graduate who would have conducted critical research in the area of animal science. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, would you, in a deserving round of applause for our 2012 graduates, all of whom have made us so proud today. Congratulations. We are honored by your presence here today, by your achievement, by all of your hard work, and the work of your faculty, the staff of UTT, and we want to congratulate you, wish you God's blessings as you take your place in the world of work. And bear in mind that we live in a community, indeed a world community, that is faced with several significant challenges. And so we thank you for all that you have done, and we want to wish you the best and God's blessings on your lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Manchun. Now we will have a musical interlude. I'm pleased to introduce to you one of our own, Mr. Crisson Joseph, the program coordinator for the Academy of Performing Arts. This evening, Mr. Joseph will be performing The Impossible Dream from the musical The Man of La Mancha. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Crisson Joseph.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to be willing to give when there's no more to give, to be willing to die so that honor and justice may live. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with stars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph. I really enjoyed that. Honored guests, we have come to the part of the ceremony where we recognize and celebrate the achievements of those students who have successfully completed their programs of studies at the University of Trinidad and Tobago. I therefore ask Professor Sweet to please present to the Provost those persons who have met the university's matriculation requirements and are now ready to receive their respective certificates, diplomas, and degrees.
Provost, I ask you to admit these candidates whose names are about to be called, having fulfilled the requirements of the university, to certificates, diploma, and degree for which they are presented.
Graduates of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, by the authority vested in me, I admit you to the certificate, diploma, and degree for which you are to be presented and receive you as members of our society.
I would now like to invite Mr. Taslim Hayat Ali to announce the graduates of the Certificate in Applied Engineering program.
Rennie Crystal Bailey. Trevon Blondell. Shaquille Antonio Carlos. Shanice Nandi David. Kern Kefim George. Akil Hostin. David Lazarus. Kirby Maynard. Dwight Edwin Morgan. Ricardo Kevon Murray. Nakis Johan Noel. Premdev Ramdat. Karen Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Hayat Ali. I'd now like to invite Mr. Ian Ramdani to present the students, the graduates from the Certificate in Security and Public Safety.
Linus James Akers. Beverly Florence Burton Pierre. Laverne Lisa Gilliard Springle, prize for highest academic performance donated by Amalgamated Security Services Limited. Candice Tyler Mahabir. Frank Alston Macmillan. Ian Everton Miller, prize for highest academic performance donated by Amalgamated Security Services Limited. Lester Ashford Smith. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Ramdani. I'd now like to call on Ms. Shameen Mohammed Baksh to present the graduates from the Certificate in Process Operations program.
Ijaz Hassan Ali, Nikita Hensel, Twain Gwenridge,
Thank you, Ms. Mohammed Baksh. I'd now like to call on Dr. Puran Brijmohan to announce the graduates from the Diploma in Agriculture, Diploma in Animal Health and Veterinary Public Health, Diploma in Animal Health, Production and Veterinary Public Health, and Diploma in Forestry certificates.
Joseph Barker, Renford Byam, Stephanie Inns, Jermaine Joseph, Anika Lewis, Akila Macpherson, Daniela Richards, Shannon Rupnerine, Phyllis Wilson, now for the Diploma in Animal Health, Production and Veterinary Public Health. Khalifa Alexander, Tara Birzan, Latoya De Leon, Mark Griffith, Angelisa Khan, Janelle Samaru, the Diploma in Forestry, Krista Cooper, Chelsea Turlid.
Thank you, Dr. Brijmohan. I'd like to now call on Ms. Vivian Rambarath Parasram to present the graduates from the Diploma in Maritime Operations Engineering Option program.
Certificate in Applied Engineering, Adrian Peter Dowden. Okay, now I will announce the names for the Diploma in Maritime Operations Engineering Option. Imran Shyam Ali, Steve Odell Bartholomew, Robin D. Chotilal, no. Michael Anton Durty, Richard Thomas Elliott, Anesh Gokul, Kurlan Lakai, Kadir Ali Lavelle, Karan Shaz Martin, and the student with the highest GPA in the engineering diploma in maritime operations, engineering option, Mr. Brian Alfonso Romani. And now for our students in the diploma in maritime operations navigation option, Mr. Avery Angelo Alexis. Ian Farrow, Rajiv Nicholas Jagasa, Mr. Vijay Roshan Prag,
Thank you, Ms. Rambarath Parasram. Now we will be presenting the graduates from the National Engineering Technician Diploma in Chemical Engineering, and I'd like to invite Mrs. Shameen Mohammed Baksh up to call the names. Before we call the names, I would like the company to acknowledge the passing of a student from this program, Mr. Junior Joseph, with a moment of silence. I would now like to invite Mr. Joseph, the father of Junior Joseph, to collect his certificate on his behalf.
Lemuel Enrique Abdullah, Locadia Alexander, Joel Anirudh, Rochelle Antoine, Dexter Matthew Bruce, Anika Collymore, Mark Dick, Lisa Edwards, Sherelle Whitley Ellis, Jillian Cassandra Eswick, Current Aisha Lewis. Damian Martin Ortega. Justin Passard. Shaquille Denzel Pope. Yasin Siddiq Ramsingh. Sarah Petal Rigault. Terian Priya Sidhu. Reese Skinner. Rhonda Marsha Smith. Lizelle Christophe Suklal. Colin Clint Sylvester. Rondell Kyle Toby. Maurice Young.
Thank you, Ms. Mohammed Baksh. I'd now like to invite Mr. Curtis Boodoo to present the graduate from the National Engineering Technician Diploma in Instrumentation Engineering.
Shane Gabriel Fletcher. National Engineering Technician Diploma in Electrical Electronics Engineering, Stephen Alexander. Bradley Joseph Barat. Donnie Calvert Jack Moore. Sakel V. Mahabir. Keston Mahabir. Ryan Brandon Haripasad. Janelle Granger. Jeffrey Gallan. Leslie Jr. Francis. Mikhail David. Kevin Sibachan. Sarika Sibran. Vimal Suinarain, Christopher Suku, Keisha Ward,
Thank you, Mr. Boodoo. I'd now like to invite Professor Winston Sweet to present the graduates of the National Engineering Technician Diploma in Civil Engineering.
Jean-Louis Barrow, Nankishore Dev Karan, Francis Collymore, Renel Francois, Nicholas Garcia, Anil Bharat Jaimangal, Shonel L. Joseph, Arun Kelly, Luna Kurchus. My apologies. Makaya Visdane Marcel, Kevin Mitchell, Kiran Ramlochan, Nikisha NNS Sipal Singh, Shivanan Singh, Donatan Christian Sukraj, Sarika Sultan, Derek Devon Warner. That's it? Good.
Thank you, Professor Sweet. I'd now like to call on Mr. Dale Bissessa to present the graduates of the National Engineering Technician Diploma in Mechanical Engineering.
Lyndon Peter Agard. Kareem Kerry Ali. Rohini Babu. Randy Bechan. Cordell Clark. Fitzroy Clark. Nigel Hines. Mihiset Green. Isel Gupol. Romero Edwards. Anslim Edmond. Leslie Dwarika. Kari Danglad. Anderson Crosby. Garrett McKellar. Jimmy Johnson. Katian Kangu. Vikash Kalawan. Kevin Lahori Smith. Jamil LaRoche. Greg Lachman Singh. Rajiv Mangali. Kisha Mangaru. Fariz Mohammed. Chanela Morges. Fitzroy Neptune. Micah O'Neill. Hugh Pickering. Roderick Ramcharita. Mikhail Ramharak. Valini Ramratan. Dominique Regis. Divina Surajbali. Stefan Sylvester.
Thank you, Mr. Bisessa. And now we start with our bachelor's programs. I'd like to invite Dr. Natasha Ramroop Singh to present the graduates of the Bachelor of Applied Science in Biomedical Engineering.
David Edwards.
Thank you, Dr. Ramroop Singh. I'd now like to invite Professor Sweet to announce the graduates of the Bachelor of Applied Science in Civil Engineering Systems with Construction Engineering and Management.
Vishal Omraj Devprasad, cum laude. Anila Lakan. Karlan Jabari James, cum laude. Why are you laughing? How do you pronounce this? Yuil Lee Lejean Scott, magnum cum laude. One of my students. Pravish Maharaj, Edison Titus, magnum cum laude. Rachel Charisse Burton Pierre, Danicia Minerva Lowe, magnum cum laude. Jade Sharaya Sobrati, Amanda Sukhai. What's that? Mark Andrew Watty. Gary Levans Fortune, cum laude. Corey Jabez George, magnum cum laude. Destiny Tempest Gilden, magnum cum laude. Good. Nikish Candice Graham, cum laude. Jamila Jamie Johnson, magnum cum laude. Anastasia Shakira Joseph, magnum cum laude. Kadeen Tekla Quash, magnum cum laude.
Thank you, Professor Sweet. I'd now like to call Dr. Nadine Sangster to present the graduates from the Bachelor of Applied Science in Manufacturing and Design Engineering.
Derwin Antwine. Saeed Akil Garcia, magna cum laude. Asif Matthew Mohammed, magna cum laude. Halim Mohammed. Jamila Giselle Nash, cum laude. Camila Lizelle Nash, cum laude. Isa Pierre. Zain Dakin M. Singh.
Thank you, Dr. Sangster. I'd now like to call Dr. E.J. John to present the graduates from the Bachelor of Applied Science in Process Engineering.
Good evening. Amir Baksh, cum laude. Marissa Chan, cum laude. Kishalin Anika Langain. Risha Ramdat. I know. Cherise Maria Lydia Ransom.
Thank you, Dr. John. I'd now like to invite Dr. Solange Kelly to present the graduates for the Bachelor of Applied Science, Utilities Engineering, Electrical option.
Sean Kajim Ali. Alana Ajun, cum laude. David Fevek. Keshwa Harilal. Dove Jailal, cum laude. Rakesh Kodai, cum laude. Christopher Mayers, cum laude. Kevin Rampasad, cum laude. Shamila Rock. Jerry Lee Williams, cum laude. Bachelor of Applied Science in Utilities Engineering, mechanical option, Derek Arthur. Joel Bacchus, cum laude. Adrian Dillon. Adrian Games, magna cum laude. Solomon George. Raymond Grell. Dario Hector, cum laude. Wayne Jagannath, cum laude. Shavita Sinath, magna cum laude. Javed Samnada, magna cum laude. Victor Rodriguez, cum laude. Vaughn Joseph, cum laude. Sebastian Lukfang, cum laude. Vinton Lakshmi Prasad. Hanraj Mahadio. Nicholas Mohammed, magna cum laude. Kadal Rajpal Singh. Mark Warner, cum laude.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. I'd like to invite Dr. Nadine Sangster to present the graduates for the Bachelor of Engineering in Applied Manufacturing Technology.
Yasin Mahabub, magna cum laude. Tanil Asaki Mayers.
Thank you, Dr. Sangster. I'd now like to ask Dr. E.J. John to come and present the graduates for the Bachelor of Engineering in Applied Process and Utilities Chemical option.
Daly. Terry Daly. Karen Anthony Mitchell. Ria Ramdial, magna cum laude. Kavita Crystal Ramsahai, cum laude. Josanne Marina Smith, cum laude.
Thank you, Dr. John. I'd like to invite Dr. Solange Kelly to present the graduates from the Bachelor of Applied Engineering in Applied Process and Utilities, Electrical Electronics Instrumentation option.
Peter Arundel, cum laude. Brian Marvin Blake, cum laude. Jeffrey Kevin Bourne. Tasha Vanessa Charles, cum laude. Baldath Doon. Nigel Forte. Vishan Gopal, magna cum laude. Caleb John Joseph. Nakisha Maraj, cum laude. Riyad Mohammed. Suresh Ramdas. Lisa Ramkelawan, cum laude. Kenrick Ramsarup. Kiran Susankar. Andres Wolf, cum laude.
Thank you once again, Dr. Kelly. I'd now like to ask Mr. Taslim Hayatali to present the graduates for the Bachelor of Engineering in Applied Process and Utilities Mechanical option.
Marlon Leo Alexander. Larry Don Bacchus. Mario Antonio Batiste. Stephen N. Buchun. Richard Anthony Charles. Jerome Abraham Degoville. Brian Gobind Prasad. Amir Hussain. Marlon Dwayne Robinson. Abdul Hakim Wadi. Trevor Jamil Ramdan. Kerwin Kirk Price. Mukesh Premchan. Sita Nanan. Khalil Mohammed, magna cum laude. Fazid Mohammed, magna cum laude. Caleb John Paul Mendoza. Quailan McLean.
Thank you, Mr. Hayat Ali. And now we're on to the advanced undergraduate degrees. I'd like to call Dr. E.J. John to present the MEng in Process Engineering.
Anastasia Farad. Oh, magna cum laude. Sorry, my finger was over it. No, wait. Starina Camarita Fraser, cum laude. Laura Kimberly N. Nirmala Lewis, cum laude. Amrish Rajiv Mahabir. Michael Ricardo Motley, magna cum laude. Shastel Anika Paramsuk, magna cum laude. Randir Rambihari, cum laude.
Thank you again, Dr. John. And once again, I'd like to invite Dr. Solange Kelly to the podium to present the graduates for the MEng in Utilities Engineering, Mechanical option.
Shazem Ali. Sarita Beshu, magna cum laude. Akil Fernandez, cum laude. Michael Hanif, magna cum laude. Maurice Talis Maison, cum laude. Richard Murray, magna cum laude. Narendra Ramsarak, magna cum laude. Mark Ray Rasman, magna cum laude. Ronnie Robert Sukramani, magna cum laude. Electrical option. Vashik Pedase, cum laude. Mallory Senon. Khadija Stephen, cum laude.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. I'd now like to invite Ms. Agatha Carrington to present the graduates for the Masters in Health Administration.
Kumar Budram. Paulina Lauren Cazo. Karen Moore Nicholson. Pravind Ramuta.
Thank you, Ms. Carrington. I'd now like to invite Professor Valerie Stout to present the graduates from the Master of Science in Environmental Science and Management.
Khalees Cummings. Lance Dikoto. Valine Dindial. Darcel Duncan. Candice Dwarika. Giselle Dial. Belinda Evelyn. Yashiti Luxing. Danielle Russo. Travis Roach. Karen Morgan. Ansar Mohammed. Chandika Mana. Celicia James. Janelle Gangu. No, I'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the last part of our program, and soon I'll be turning you back over to our Master of Ceremonies, Dr. Marion Watson. We have come to the of Philosophy degrees. And I just want to say one thing before I turn you over to Dr. Watson, and that is the of Philosophy degrees are different from other postgraduate degrees in three very important ways. The first is that the candidate for the degree must, in their research, present new material that is original and that adds value to the knowledge domain. The second and more important reason is that the candidate must critically analyze the work that they have done. In so doing, they must establish very clearly that that work is reliable, that is, that anyone, anywhere, using the same conditions can reproduce that work, and that the work is valid, that it speaks to the question that is asked at the beginning, which is called a research question. But the third and most important requirement of an of philosophy degree is that that degree is assessed rigorously by internal examiners and by an external examiner. It is in this last regard that the institution honors the public trust. Within that context, I would like to introduce UTT's first Master of Philosophy. He will be awarded a degree in animal science. This candidate has overcome several personal challenges to get to this point. He researched and collected data for 21 months. He could have done it for 10 and still have got the degree. But he's a scientist. As he himself would admit, he loves the land, he loves animals, and his work in reproductive efficiency will redound to the benefit of farmers throughout Trinidad and Tobago. He contributes or attributes his love of the land and of animals to his father, Lal Ramgati, who he believes inculcated in him the characteristics that he brought to his research. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and my pleasure to introduce you to UTT's first Master of Philosophy, Mr. Reza Ramgati.
Thank you, Professor Stout. And now we've arrived at the point in our program where we'll be awarding our Doctor of Philosophy. The first person that we'd like to call is Professor Valerie Stout to escort Donnie Budlal to the stage. All of our Doctor of Philosophies tonight are in Process and Utilities Engineering. Mr. Budlal's research has provided Trinidad and Tobago with a previously unknown detailed mapping of the carbon dioxide emissions from its main industries. Even more important are the clear guidelines provided in the research for optimum emission mitigation approaches in 3 key national industrial sectors, and the development of a model able to predict the behavior of these sectors in response to a proposed economic policy. His systematic approach, which offers a universal template for strategizing the mitigation of this important greenhouse gas, has generated international interest, resulting in Mr. Budlal being a perennial invited speaker to many fora on global warming and climate change.
Donnie, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and ask that you be so recognized by the members and the institutions of our society. Holders of doctors, letters of doctors, Dr. Budlal.
I'd now like to call Dr. E.J. John to escort our next PhD candidate, Mr. Rian Maraj. Trinidad Lake asphalt occurs naturally in the form of the pitch lake located in La Brea, Trinidad. It has been internationally well established as a commercial product and a source of superior quality asphalt, and it is often specified as a mandatory ingredient for paving in high demand situations such as those encountered in airport runways and bridges. an understanding of the key components and processes that are responsible for the superior qualities of Trinidad Lake asphalt obtained in his research made it possible to produce asphaltic materials with qualities that match and even surpass that of Trinidad Lake asphalt, and demonstrated the capability to create customized refinery bitumen-based blends to suit special applications by formulating specific quantities of naturally occurring materials. Consistent with UTT's mission statement, this research holds enormous entrepreneurial and commercialization potential and is relevant to the economic and social development of Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. Rayan Maraj is also the holder of a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry and a Master of Philosophy degree in chemistry, both from the University of the West Indies. Over the years, Rayan's research has generated several material science-based journal publications.
Rayan Maharaj, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and I ask that you be so recognized by the members and the institutions of our society. Doctors and professors, I present to you Dr. Maharaj.
I'd now like to call on Dr. Solange Kelly to bring forth Renick Murray. Dr. Murray's work assessed the feasibility of using methanol for base load electricity generation in the small island states that comprise our West Indian community. This would ultimately reduce their dependence on crude oil and allow CARICOM to directly benefit from indigenous natural gas reserves wherever they exist. It emerged that the technology is most feasible with a methanol biodiesel blend, the latter coming from plant-derived oils like coconut. The added benefit of this is to revive the coconut industry in the region. Further work could investigate this technology's feasibility for the transportation sector, essentially promoting a policy of natural gas vehicles.
Renick Murray, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and ask that you be so recognized by the members and institutions of our society. Doctors and professors, I present to you Dr. Murray.
Thank you very much. We've come to the end of the award of these certificates. Please let's have a hearty round of applause for all graduates. As our newest group of graduates, I would like to invite you to join and become active members of the UTT Alumni Association. As the alumni, you will be able to keep informed on the progress of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and you will also have the opportunity to mentor undergraduate students through co-op training or similar work-related experiences. Please check the UTT website at www.u.tt for further information on alumni membership registration. The objectives of the UTT Alumni Association are to promote interaction among alumni members and between alumni and UTT, to encourage education, research, and commercialization of innovative ideas, to keep members informed on the progress of UTT, to provide professional development training and opportunities for its members, and to recognize alumni achievements. And now I would like to introduce you to the gentleman who has been nominated to present today's valedictory address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium valedictorian for the class of 2012, Mr. Javed Samnada of the Bachelor of Applied Science in Utilities Engineering, Mechanical Option.
Wow. Mr. Curtis Manchun, Chairman of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, members of the Board of Governors, Acting President and Provost, Dr. Fazal Ali, graduates of 2012, academic and senior corporate staff, Master of Ceremony, Dr. Marian Watson, family, friends, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, good evening to you all. It is indeed a great honor to be given the opportunity to deliver the valedictory address this evening, both to and on behalf of us graduates. I am deeply humbled by this gesture. Our presence today means that we have all done well in our academic endeavors, and as a fellow graduate, I want to sincerely congratulate you all. In keeping with true student behavior, my initial reading and preparation for this evening's address took the same path many of us followed for our projects throughout the years: Google, Wikipedia, YouTube, and of course, eventually onto Facebook. So I'm hoping it doesn't fail me now. As I reflected throughout the years, I asked myself, what was the most valuable lesson we, as students, would have learned? After much contemplation, I came to the conclusion that this lesson was learned from experiencing failure in our very first year of tertiary education. We had no idea it was going to be that hard. Whilst many attended the lectures, others were out enjoying their newly found freedom. The following semester, the result of this procrastination and straying was morbidly apparent. Several of us either failed or scored lower than expected. But in the words of entrepreneur Kiam, even if you fall on your face, you're still moving forward. If you failed a particular course like I did, Tuesday classes ran from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. The additional class at night really pushed sane human beings into coffee-infused zombies. It was physically and mentally exhausting. I must admit that I felt very low and completely inept, looking at the others who had achieved a passing grade have the option to go home all lime, while I had to recharge at the cafeteria. A couple of weeks had elapsed, and I still felt absolutely hopeless. There was less time to do more work. This was not the university life I, nor we, imagined. There wasn't going to be any spoon feeding, and if we wanted something here, we needed to earn it. A few of my classmates and I got together and figured it out. We each had our own part to play. We each needed to put in the long hours of dedicated, honest reading and practice. Perseverance was needed. We drew on each other's strengths. What one did not know, someone else would. We learned to ask for assistance if we needed it. We helped each other, shared our ideas, and put our theories to the test. In the end, the hard work paid off, and our failure turned into success. Unknowingly, in achieving our goals, we developed the spirit of teamwork. Whilst working as a team, we all transitioned from mere strangers to lifelong friends. There was so much more value in working with each other rather than in isolation. At one point, we all had to exercise humility to collectively approach even the roughest and toughest of lecturers. In retrospect, I can safely say that teamwork is one thing that just simply cannot be taught. It has to be unearthed. It has to be experienced firsthand for one to genuinely know what it really means. Now, I think it is safe to say we all know its true value. Permit me now to talk about my peers' experiences at university. When I asked them what was their best experiences at UTT, one of my colleagues said, the nights spent at school till 4 a.m. trying to teach myself the entire course in 1 week. Someone else said he enjoyed the practical courses and summer work exposure. I asked another, and she was honest enough to say, Javed, the best part of my degree is finishing it. I could not agree with her more. Continuing on this path, I now say with extreme pleasure that we were bestowed some of the best courses, training, and exposure in the diverse yet specialized fields of engineering, agriculture, maritime operations, and health administration. Our laboratories and training facilities were and still are second to none nationally and regionally. It goes without saying, we have come from the best. For a young university, our students and our staff have made significant strides in developing industry-relevant programs, and they find a way to make them practical and enjoyable. Because of this, I am only confident when anyone questions my skills or my qualifications, and so should you all. The confidence we now have is attributed to the dedicated and caring staff that we were indeed privileged to study under. We know them, and they know themselves. I need not call any names. We sincerely thank you for the time, effort, and sometimes tears you put into your profession to help us understand challenging concepts. We are all truly grateful for the labor of love you have infinitely supplied over the years. What defines us as graduates is not that we have achieved some sort of academic merit, but rather what we did to achieve that. We fought, we struggled, many of us fell hard, but we picked ourselves up, brushed the dirt off, and continued the rugged journey to where we are today. I want to encourage you to never give up and to never lose hope. Anything that is worth having will never be easily obtained, and we will always be faced with seemingly difficult and impossible tasks. By working hard, we can overcome anything life throws at us. Our achievement today could not be done without the grace of God or without the support and guidance of our parents, guardians, friends, and family. On behalf of the students, I sincerely and lovingly thank you. To our lecturers again, we sincerely thank you. For us graduates, without each other, this ride would have been like my speech, long and possibly boring. I thank you all for the good times, support, and love we have shared throughout the years. As I close tonight, I leave you with a quote from Confucius: "The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential, these are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence." Congratulations of the highest order to us all, UTT graduates of 2012. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Javed. I heard what you said, and on behalf of the academic community at UTT, if I may speak on your behalf, I'd love to say that we do it 10 times over. There's nothing more rewarding than taking an applicant through a long, arduous journey that is a UTT program and converting them into a successful, confident graduate. We would do it 10 times over. As we come to the end of this session, may I take the opportunity to thank all of those who contributed to making tonight's ceremony both smooth and successful. Before we declare this ceremony closed, I'd just like to make an announcement. Anybody who is missing car keys and/or a cell phone, please check any of the ushers at the front of the auditorium. And finally, Provost, I invite you to declare this ceremony closed.
I wish to sincerely congratulate the newly graduated members of our society on their achievement. And now I declare this ceremony closed.
Honored guests, please stand and remain in your places until the academic procession, followed by the graduates and the staff, have retired. Good night.
Good evening. Good evening, graduates. Just a brief announcement for all graduates and guests. The Student Guild at the University of Trinidad and Tobago is hosting a gala cocktail event this evening, immediately after this evening's proceedings at Joseph's Restaurant in Maraval. There will be a shuttle service provided for all those interested. The Student Guild is backstage where tickets can be purchased, or tickets can be purchased at the event as well. So we invite all of you and your guests to come out and enjoy an enjoyable evening to celebrate your major achievement. Once again, good evening and congratulations.
Well, that's it. You're done. Click to apply, that's it. This today, no.